You guys, Manuka is the bomb.com. I just roll it like this, and I roll it basically anywhere in my body before meditation. And it really helps ground and center your energy and also protect you energetically speaking so you can really go deep in it. And this one is free this month. And I'm like all about it. So, Manuka, I will talk more about this in a minute. But really, I got some Manuka left over. Perfect. But really, I wanted to talk about, I had shared a little more about Milarepa previously, and I wanted to really talk about how that influenced my intention this month, which was all about letting go of resistance and like really softening and surrendering to what's there, and how that has affected me in hopes of, you guys getting some relief too from these practices. So, a little backstory. Milarepa, um, Tibetan saint, cave dwelling yogi, leaves his cave, comes home and finds all these demons up in his cave. And you could think about your cave as your mind. Okay, we got a lot going on up there. So he does not like these demons he sees. The demons can be in the form of self-doubt, self-loathing, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, not being loved, lust, reactivity, anger, blame, whatever's there, anything that we think we should not have, should being the key word, that is the demon. And Milarepa doesn't like it, wants to get rid of it immediately. That's what I do as well. A lot of us do. It's like, how can I get rid of this as quick as possible? I don't want it here. And so uses all of his force, all of his will to try to push these demons out. And exhausted, looks up and's like, holy crap, they didn't go anywhere. Actually, they're more comfortable than they've ever been, because I've just identified with them. I've just confirmed that, hey, you're something that I need to get rid of, and basically set myself up for failure, because now they have all this energy of mine. I've been feeding them. I like to think of them like the demons coming by and just joining you for lunch. And the second you have an agenda to push them away, they're like, no, girlfriend, I'm going to be on that couch chilling with you, Netflix and chilling for like the rest of your life until you acknowledge me and like don't have to resist or force or anything. So that attempt didn't work. So the next attempt Milarepa tries is like, okay, so pushing them away didn't work with my force, with my will. Maybe if I enlighten them by sharing them messages from the Dharma, these principles of truth from the universe, maybe that'll do it. They'll be so enlightened, they'll just flee on their own. So talks about compassion, emptiness, connectedness, all of that, but still they don't budge an inch. And it's because it's still an attempt to force them out, but this is a way that the ego does it through knowledge. So, if I'm really reactive and I'm really hurt and I tell myself, you shouldn't take that personally, shouldn't, once again, or it's not about you, or whatever it may be, they may be having a bad day. Yeah, that makes sense intellectually, but like I still haven't addressed what I'm feeling, and that hurt, that wound is still very much there. So I can't just brush over it with knowledge or try to force it out. And so the third attempt, Milarepa's like, oh, I'm exhausted. I surrender. Like there's nothing I can do to get these demons to leave. So here I am. I see you. And so here's the switch in his perspective. Instead of viewing them as something to get rid of, he thinks, how can they teach me? How can they be my teacher? And how can they help me deepen my practice? So he starts to bow to them, thanking them for the lessons and seeing how he can deepen into it. And that works wonderfully. Most of them are gone. There's one nasty one, Mara, demon of delusion, whatever, temptress, whatever you want to call her. She's there, self-doubt. And she is huge. And he's just like looking at her. He's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this one? And so he literally feeds himself to Mara, saying, I can't do anything. Here you are. I see you. I'm yours. And by doing this, the demon dissolves and Milaretha is free. So I love that story because it really shows that like this path is not a pretty one. Like I can have an idea of what meditation should look like or enlightenment should look like and how I should once again appear and be at peace and totally serene 24/7. It's not the case. It gets really messy when we have the courage to really dig deep and to see what's there without having to do anything, without having to push anything away, and without having to layer on judgment or blame, which is just a temporary fix because the issues are still there. So it's really about looking and inquiring and saying, what's happening inside of me right now? And can I be with it? What can I learn from it? And just surrender to whatever it is. So I have it's kind of an embarrassing little story, but it's so true. It just happened this past week. I came across this guy and I fixed my attention and I said, he's really cute. I maybe have spoken to him like once or twice, or I don't even know if I've ever really spoken to him. So I immediately think, oh, okay. I start planning. I start doing. I start thinking, how can I run into this person? I start looking on social media. I start imagining what our encounters will look like. And then basically start planning like a future relationship with someone I don't know. And after a few days of doing this, because it was pretty exciting when I was doing it, let me tell you, I realized what was happening. I realized I was living in a fantasy and it wasn't reality. And I was, and I was like, okay, I want to get real and I want to be really here. And so I took that fantasy romance and I labeled it as bad and wrong. And I said, okay, this has got to go. This has got to go. I can't be thinking about this person I don't even know. And I used shame, an attempt to push this away, an attempt to say, I should not be thinking of this person. You don't even know him. You're so silly. We all know that doesn't do anything. Shame just compounds the suffering and does not allow you to heal. So that was my attempt to push it away, to say, I can't think about this person. I can't check social media. Didn't work. So then I tried to use my spiritual knowledge and attempt to, remedy this issue. Okay, impermanence, everything that I desire, everything that I long for is of the nature to change. I can't hold on to any of it. Okay, great. Still thinking about that person though. Or how about this one? My happiness doesn't depend on anything outside of myself. Okay, but I still have this longing inside of me. So no amount of knowledge could really get this to go away, right? So finally, I checked in with myself, I got quiet, and I said, okay, what is this like? And I started to bow to it and I started to think, how can I learn from this? And so by bringing that open receptivity, that non-judgment, like you should or should not be thinking of this, I was just like, this is what it's like right now. What is this trying to tell me? And I really just saw that like I had a longing for love and partnership. And I was like, okay, that's there. And so even further, that helped, right? But even further, Mara was still there. And there was this belief that I found, this core belief that it was like, if I don't do something, if I'm not in control, if I don't take action and make myself available in all these different ways, I won't get the love that I am looking for. I won't be loved. And so it was a matter of me thinking I had to do something. And then if I didn't and I surrendered, I would never be loved. And my heart melted, it broke open, and I just like wept. And I felt something change inside of me and completely created this space to where I could like hold this part that wants to be loved and not have to judge it. And like through that, I was able to feel what I longed for. I was able to really connect and feel loved. So it's all about just knowing that you're not alone, knowing that we all have our own demons, And truly, a gateway that's really been powerful for me is to not have to do anything about them. If I just relinquish this idea that I have to do and I switch it to just be and to honor it, it creates something so much greater than my mind could come up with or any amount of control. And so I really, really hope that you got something out of that and that can help you on this journey because it can get real. Yeah. Um, so Manuka is great, for deepening those practices and deepening that insight. Another oil that you can use during your meditation. And I was reading about all the energetic ways to use them. And Listia is great, is actually not only for antioxidant support and cellular health, but really it helps you digest sense impressions. So stuff that we may be ingesting, through our minds or thinking about so much, and we kind of get stuck right here. This, if it applied to the diaphragm, can really help digest all of those things. And Manuka as well, applied to the diaphragm, and like I was doing on the jawline, it can really help bring what we've been suppressing up to the surface so we can digest, so we can release, and we can heal. So these two oils, thebomb.com, I love them. They're so uplifting. They're great for all of these balancing practices, and they are free this month if you place a 200 PV order. So get with me if you don't know what a PV is or you don't know how to qualify. I will show you the ropes. Another thing, I shared some the Mercury still in retrograde, which obviously is very much happening. And all of the oils for communication are really powerful right now. So using lavender or using peppermint or spearmint on your throat chakra and just, I have the right to speak. May I speak clearly? Is super cool to be doing. And also I typed up a protocol for you guys to follow to really help you stay grounded. And one last thing, geranium. I've talked about her before. I'll talk about her again. She is really doing something for me. I've been the ultimate heart opener, but I really feel like this helps give that love and that nourishment inwardly to all of those parts. So geranium, really all the practices, all of the oils. If you have any questions, I am so happy to help. Just message me, reach out directly, and I would be honored to work with you. So may you all be happy and free. Namaste, darlings. Love you.